as we're in this space, I'm holding the role today as a facilitator, and my voice is the voice that is amplified. And I am presenting my own perspective. And this perspective is also just a small piece of an entire perspective that I have, and my perspective is also in process. It's evolving, and it's going to be different tomorrow than it is today. And I want to guarantee you that I will misspeak, and I'm going to forget things. And in this presentation, it's going to be entirely incomplete and 100% biased because it's coming through me, and I'm a person. So please keep that in mind as you listen. And again, make the meaning that's meaningful for you. And if I say anything or don't say anything, and it emerges in your consciousness as a rub or an irritation or an offense, or even as deep as something that feels harmful, I ask for your forgiveness in advance. I offer myself as a friend, as a sibling, and as someone who can listen if you need to give me feedback at some point. And I also really ask you to be responsible within your own experience. And again, make the meaning that's meaningful for you. And so sometimes when we hear people saying things, and especially if the people that are saying things have a position of power, it can be easy to internalize it as like a fact, right? Like, oh, Renee, is a professional astrologer. Oh, I've listened to Renee's podcast. I think Renee knows a thing. Maybe we're in positions where our experience with astrology has a differential. It could be tempting or easy for you to hear something I say and think that it's true. But my invitation is for you to feel if it's true for you, and how it's true, and how it absorbs and resonates, and what you want to do with it. Going to take some breaths. And I want to invite everyone to take some breaths with me. Maybe we could take 3 together. Just on your own time. And I ask that our time together be supportive and healing and in devotion to love. And that anything you take from this space serves you in your healing and in your love and in the wellness and well-being of your relations. So we're going to begin with a felt sense journey and a guided visualization. And I would love to invite you to turn your attention away from your device, your computer, your phone, and to be in some kind of posture that supports you to tune inward, in with your body, in with your felt sense. So please just take a moment and make your arrangements and adjustments. If it's comfortable for you to close your eyes, I invite you to close your eyes. If you'd prefer to keep your eyes open, then please turn your eyes away from the screen. And whether your eyes are open or closed, invite your eyes to relax. And invite any attention or sensory awareness that you might be experiencing through your eyes or your ears or your nose or your skin or other organs of perception to move away from any outward or external facing focus and direct them internally. Inviting your attention and your awareness inward. And as your attention and awareness come inward, notice your breath. It's a truth of our existence here on Earth and phenomenal existence that when attention is given, there is response. So as you begin to attend to your breath, notice your breath changing. Notice your breath responding. And as your breath responds and changes, so does your body. And as you inhale, I invite you to say to yourself, I am here. And as you exhale, I exist. As you're breathing in and breathing out, repeating the mantra in your mind and in your body, I am here. I exist. Letting your noticing and your awareness expand your consciousness. You are here. You exist. Your breath is your life. Throughout your life, breathing, existing, being. And as you breathe in gases that were released billions of years ago in an explosion, in a creation of a star in a solar system. And as you breathe out, you're breathing out gases of creation, carbon, form. You're breathing in existence and breathing out creation. And in this moment, you exist. And this breath is unique, just as is your life and your existence. In the next breath, honoring the spectacular synchronicity of your existence, the profound beingness that you are. And we'll start to feel into some of our own cardinal directions. In your next breath, breathe into your back body. Bring your attention and your sensory awareness into the skin of your back. into the space behind you. Let your awareness spread into the space behind you, into your back body. And as your awareness spreads into this space that is invisible to you, honoring all you have emerged from, all the beings and the beingness that is behind you and in your past. And you may honor any ancestors who might be present or who you might wish to be present. You might honor the everythingness or the mystery. And as we feel this space behind, we'll invite the area of the body that Libra governs, the two sides of the spine and the lower back, to relax. From the base of your rib basket to the top of your pelvis, feeling the width of your low back, and imagining friendly, warm presence holding your back. Like a friend that has your back. And taking one more breath just to honor the space to the back. And then let your inner awareness shift and feel your front. And as you breathe, feel your breath moving in through your nose or through your mouth. Feel your chest expand. Maybe your belly swells. And through your sensory awareness, expand into the space now that is in front of you, to your front, the forward facing, the projecting out. This place where so often you come into contact. The front of your face, feel your expression, the energy of your eyes, the front of your chest, inviting your heart space to soften and open. Welcoming what is in front of you. You might imagine the unknown forward, the sense of future. Calling in the future ancestors. Feeling their presence here too. And taking one more breath to honor the forward moving. And let's feel that there's a polarity here, an opposition between forward and backward, front side and back side. And in an opposition and in a polarity, there might be a pull or a sway, a simultaneous expansion or compression. There might be attraction or aversion, preferences, just noticing the differences and the relationships in the front and the back. Then let's extend some breaths into the right and the left. And it might feel good here to stretch out your arms or broaden your shoulders, moving intuitively in whatever way feels good and natural for you. And play in this space between right and left. Feel your right side and your left side. And you might be a person who is equally skilled or ambidextrous. And you might be a person who has a dominant and a non-dominant side. Feel into the differences between your right side and your left side. Does one side experience relationship with gravity or levity in a different way than the other side? Sensations might arise like tightness or tension, openness, expansion, pleasure, neutrality or indifference. Other specific sensations that you might name. As you feel your right side and your left side, feel that you could go this way or that way. And let it bring a little bit of sway. And notice your choices. Notice your choices. Notice your choices. In the space between your right and your left, and your front and your back, you might find a central column. And from that central space, you could reach down and you could reach up. Or you could reach towards your feet or towards your head. Or you could reach to the earth, or you could reach to the sky. And let's play with this with breath. And if it feels interesting to you, as you inhale, inhale the sky. And as you exhale, exhale to earth. And as you inhale, inhale the earth. And as you exhale, exhale to sky. Breathing in sky, breathing out earth. Breathing in earth, breathing out sky. Breathing into your contact with creation, this realm of creative manifestation. All that exists here in the space between earth and sky. And as you breathe into earth and into sky, you are breathing yourself. And you might say again to yourself, I exist. I am here. I am now. You are now. You are here right now. Breathing into that truth. And in that truth, feeling your own sense of center. Wherever center exists for you right now, at the core of your being, the core of your existence. Breathing into center, you exist, you are here. And you are here inside of everything. And as you breathe now, feel into all the in-between directions. The in-betweens, the diagonals, the neither here nor there, but the everywhere. And feel that this is a polarity too. From center to self, into everything. Repeating the mantra, I exist. I exist in this realm of existence. In this realm of existence that you are in, there are distinct colors and shapes and textures and sounds right now. I invite you now to extend your sense organs. That could be your eyes or your ears or your felt sense or something that comes through your sense of smell or maybe even taste. Extend through your sense organs and come into relationship with another being that is not a human. And when I say another being, I mean another form. And the invitation now is to focus on a form that is not a human. And for our time right now, that is also not your computer or your device. Make contact. And that contact does not have to be touch. It is attention. You might rest your gaze upon this being, this form. You might attune your ears. You might breathe in their scent. Focus your attention on this beingness. This form is a beingness. This form, like you, has come into form. And as you focus your attention, Inquire into the beingness of this form. Where did this form come from? From what conditions did this form emerge? How do you imagine the journey of this form? What did it take for this form to become what it is? Perhaps collaborations or involvements with other forms. Perhaps journeys across time and space. Perhaps combinations and interdependencies with other forms. And as you regard this form, open yourself and your perception to perceive, to be touched by the deeper nature of this form. There's the surface of the form, how it appears, how they appear. But there's also the being under the surface, under the appearance. And the being is vast. Sense into your relationship with this being. Feel the space between you and this form. Introduce yourself. Say hello. Invite an introduction in return. Through your body and your heart and your spirit and your intuition, inquire into this being and into your relationship with this being. Is there anything this form desires from you? Are there specific invitations this form extends for your attention, or your care, or your regard? Are there requests in the relationship? In the life, in the emergence of this relationship as it's happening right now? So as you ponder and reflect and sense and inquire and listen, notice, does the information you're receiving change how you might normally relate with this being, with this form? Have you received any new information? Please thank this being in this form for providing this opportunity to be in relationship, to know yourself a little bit better, perhaps to know this form a little bit better too. And then take a deep breath and stretch your body And let your attention now expand into the space around this form. Take in your surroundings. Where are you right now? And if you're using your eyes, then turn your eyes back over both shoulders and let your spine and your shoulders and your hips twist. And if you're using your ears, then sway and open your ears in the directions of sounds. And if you're perceiving through your skin, then open your skin sense and feel the temperature and the touch of air and the quality of your clothing or the floor or your cushions and couches. Look all around you and see how many forms there are. See the forms of walls and furniture and plants and books and art. See the forms of trees and mountains and sky and clouds. See forms that I'm not naming and name them for yourself. You are embedded in everythingness. Your form is part of form. Your creation is inside of creation. Feel this breath and feel how this breath is arising right now. And in this breath, you are exactly the age you are right now. And there is a number to this breath. And I don't know what it is, and probably you don't either. There are a finite number of breaths you will take in this life. This is one of them. And as you regard the forms around you, honoring that forms come into shape and come into being temporarily through an interrelation and codependence of form. Attune to the embeddedness of your existence. All of these forms emerging right now, right here. It will never be like this again. Extend your awareness out of your own space. You might use your eyes or your ears. You might use your imagination. Extend your awareness out into the world. In the here and the now of the world, we exist in an era, in a period of time. And some might call this period of time the anthropocene. And that's an idea, and that's a word. And ideas and words have meaning that we can choose to engage with. In this era, there is a co-emergence of forms, structures, ideas, behaviors, and relationships. And one interpretation of this era or this time of the Anthropocene is that it is an era when the impact of human creation is the most dominant force in the evolution of the earth. And there have been other times when other forces were more dominant. And at this time, human impact is landing with the most weight upon the evolution and the co-arising, the co-emergence of our existence. So extend through your eyes and your ears and your imagination right now into the sounds of traffic, into the shape and the textures of concrete and plastic and metal, into the forms created by fossil fuels, to the sound of my voice as it travels through a medium of minerals that have been mined, and electronic conduits that wrap our planet under the sea. Feel into all of your feelings about being alive right now in 2022. And as you breathe again, the mantra, I exist. I exist now. I'm going to tell you a story. And like all stories, it's not the only one. And like any story, again, my version is incomplete. So notice what you notice and take time with how it feels to receive this story. And as I tell you this story, I invite you to feel your form and to look around your space and to notice what you see and what you can touch and perceive. And as feelings arise, or if they do, if emotional sensations emerge, I invite you to rock your body, to sway your body, to breathe, to care for yourself. And you might sound or hum. It can feel calming to tap on your chest. And again, please always feel free to pause. So in this story, our kind, our humankind, has existed for about 300,000 years. And for the last 3,000 to 6,000 years, which is not so long, there has been a story that has been emerging and gaining strength. And this story is a story of separation. And there have been many arguments and debates. And there are many other stories that have always been or been emerging or emerged in response as well. In this story of separation, there's been a central question. And the question has been about the relationship between what is human and what is other or more than or not human. And in the past 3,000 years, which is not so long, this story of separation has gained strength. And that strength has come through forms, bodies, power, the power to shape form, the power to create. And in this story of separation, there are stories of supremacy. Some beings tell stories of their own supremacy. The supremacy of men, the supremacy of gods, the supremacy of wealth, the supremacy of those moving from a European foundation. As it gained strength, the story worked to convince and justify enough beings to continue to exist and gain strength. Stories form creation, and creation forms stories. And this story that has spread says that there is a separateness between human and nature. And this story says that only some are human. Those who honor particular gods, who have a particular amount of wealth, who live in particular bodies from particular places. And all else in this story is less than. And in this split, what is less than and what is nature has been reviled. It's been feared. It's been used. It's been extracted from. And this story has consumed bodies. And it has stolen land. And it has taken up a lot of space. Let's breathe. Let's sound. Caring for the weight of those words. Feeling the texture of that story and what came through as you heard it. As you remembered and associated. As you felt into your own story and the stories you've come from and the stories you've held. Feeling the ways that this story has lived, that this story has lived in you, that this story and these kinds of story have shaped in the forms of existence around you. This might be a time to call in your other stories. The remembering, the knowing, the other knowings. This might be a time to stretch your body. And again, open your eyes. And let's look around and come back to embeddedness, back to relationship. And we'll just explore a little longer. But I'd like you now to use your mind, your imagination, to feel the lingering residue of this story. And as you sense out now into relationship with the forms around you, the beings, and I invite you also now to imagine into contact with another human. Anyone who emerges in your imagination. And in that contact, touching with your heart and mind. And considering for a moment this being's existence, their emergence and creation. Their deeper nature, the complexity and the mystery that they hold. How do the stories that have shaped the forms of our existence affect our relationships? How does this story of domination and supremacy that includes the creation of capital and scarcity affect your relationships? What do these stories impose? What do they demand or require? What other stories are here and want to be remembered? What do these relations invite? When you tune in to the space between your body, your form, and other bodies, other forms, and in the immensity and the history of all that has emerged and is emerging, what wants to be remembered? What stories want to be told? Feeling your breath, sensing your breath, and again, sensing you exist. Repeating the mantra, I exist. I am here now, right now. In this emergence, I am here. In this existence, I exist. And as you breathe, feel that you create. your actions, reactions, thoughts, words, ideas, your breath, your words, your behaviors create. And in your relations, you create and forms emerge. As you're ready, reaching for your pen and your paper. And we'll take about 10 minutes to reflect and journal. And anything that needs to come out right now can come out. And if you need a place to begin, then I offer the prompt. I exist in relationship.